Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the mighty Akim Wakwafim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this bound captivity, as well as the diaspora that may look like the other nations but are actually Yasharallah. This is Brother Kawakub coming at you with another lesson. In today's lesson, I want to go into wisdom and knowledge, alright, because as inspired by this video right here. Actually, I want to get the thumbnail so you can see the thumbnail. Alright, bear with me one moment. But yeah, basically the thing about this, a wise man first thinks then speaks. So basically the lesson here is about the importance of wisdom, as well as the fact that the Bible, alright, it has all the wisdom. Alright, the Bible teaches us and shows us so much that we should things that we need to know, things that we need to be aware of, all right, or things that we need to kind of put into practice. Like an example of that is Slacky, I don't want to get into the examples of that first, but first let's get into these precepts. Firstly, Isaiah chapter 33 verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Okay, so that is going to be what is going to be the things that stabilizes us and protects us in times of trouble. Wisdom and knowledge. Now, first part of it is wisdom. Wisdom, kind of like knowing and understanding how to maneuver and how to talk to people and how to get through, how to basically problem solving skills. That's basically wisdom. The second half of that is knowledge, which is like stuff like knowing what the prophecies are, knowing that, okay, you know what, the MOTB is coming, this is coming, that is coming, all these different things are coming. Knowing these things are coming is another aspect of it that we also need. But because like, say for example, if the MOTB came and they said, okay, well, if you don't buy, if you don't take this, you need if you don't take this CHIP, you're not going to be able to buy and sell. Your average person would say, okay, well, I need to buy and sell, so let me just take it and whatnot. But because the YAHAWAH warned us this is not something to take, then we know, okay, you know what, now we have that knowledge to say, okay, I'm not going to take it, because that's not something that's wisdom. And nobody, well, yes, there may be people that might not want to be a part of that, and that's fine, good for them. But there's people that say, I do not want to take this, simply because, or most people that ever talk about the MOTB, the slash the RFID, it's mostly because of from what I've heard, that's mostly because they know, okay, this is the MOTB X, Y, and Z and stuff like that. That's the connection between the two. All right. Now, with that being said, let's continue on. Sirach chapter 1 verse 5, the word of the Lord Most High is the foundation of wisdom, and her ways are everlasting commandments. Okay, so the word of YAHAWAH is the fountain of wisdom, and that is very true, because a lot of the stuff that we do, or a lot of the stuff that you can learn from the scriptures, are actually applicable wisdom, which I'm actually going to go into in this lesson. All right, but yes, this is the main thing I'm trying to convey and show you now, which it is the fact that it's the fact that the scriptures teaches actual, genuine applicable wisdom that we can learn and apply into our lives. So let's actually see if this is it. Oh no, yeah, let's finish this stuff out the way first. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 12, for wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. All right, so yeah, this is the thing. Wisdom is a defense, just like how money is a defense. Wisdom is also a defense. Wisdom is what is going to, again, as I said before, help you maneuver through these different aspects of life where you might be going through some complications. Bear with me one moment, Slakia. All right, Slocky, as I was saying, wisdom is the defense, as knowing how to solve certain problems. That is what gets us to get through whatever issues or situations that we're in. All right, so yes, money is the defense, as well as wisdom. Primarily, the only thing we're talking about right now is wisdom. Wisdom is a defense. You want to have money, Slocky, not money, wisdom, in order to know how do I stop this person from wanting to hurt me or wanting to do me harm or wanting to do whatever to me. All right, and again, as I said before, wisdom. And this is the thing where this is actually a very common thing. Over here, Matthew chapter 5 verse 25, agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. All right, so yeah, this is a very important thing that our people just does not know about, that our people does not follow. All right, and this is when it comes to one of the primary examples. The way you apply it is to like the cops. Okay, with the cops, it's like they are over here trying to find a reason to take their guns out, to shoot you, to arrest you, to say that you did some sort of violation and whatnot. And when you are giving them problem, when you are combating them, then that's when you give them the problem, regardless of if you're justified or if you are innocent or not. You give them the issue, rather than instead, on the flip side, you just calmly say, okay, sure, yes, fine, here, this and the third, to a certain extent, because obviously there are going to be times when Esau is going to want to lie on you and say you did X, Y, and Z. Okay, but outside of that, you don't try to antagonize him or say, oh, I know my rights, I know this and that, blah blah, X, Y, and Z, and try to be rebellious against him to make him angry in order to make him think, what, I'm just gonna kill this person. But when you actually, as a matter of fact, let me get this precept. Over here, Proverbs 15 verse 1, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So when you are calm and you're being respectful, all right, you're turning away the wrath of these centurions. You're making Esau just stop, because he sees what, you're not being problematic. You're not trying to stir up violence, stir up anger. You're not trying to make him angry. And also sometimes, a lot of times, I won't say a lot of times because I don't know the statistics, but sometimes, the cops, they stay calm, and they simply just say an outrageous thing. It happened, as a matter of fact, it happened to me before. Okay, it genuinely happened to me before, and I didn't even notice it. But even then, I still stayed calm. Okay, what happened? So basically, what happened with me was I was driving. I had a temporary plate because I was waiting for my new license plate to get in the mail. All right, and I was driving around with a temporary plate. The temporary plate, it was valid. I made sure everything could be seen, everything was good and whatnot. And then a police officer stopped me. He turned on his lights and said, "Okay, I'm pulling this person over." All right, now after I get pulled over, I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he pulling me over? Because I wasn't even driving. I wasn't even moving. I wasn't doing nothing. I literally didn't do anything. But he still pulled me over. After he pulled me over, he said, your license plate is expired. That's not working. And obviously, I know that that's not true. I knew that before I left, I just made sure, before I left, Slocky, that's a new temporary plate. That's number one. Number two, every time before I leave, I always have to make sure that the temporary plate is visible. It's not causing any issues. Okay, and I make sure that that the police can see before and not stop me, and know that, hey, that everything is good. you do not need to bother me on this because this is valid, everything is good and whatnot. Don't bother me and whatnot because everything is good, Slakia. But basically, yeah, so everything was in fact good, and he lied in my face and said the plate is expired. What? And then I said, okay, what? I said, okay, Slakia, I said, okay, I give him the registration, I give him my license, all that stuff. He looks at it and then he says, he's like talking, trying to, and I honestly, now again, looking back at it, I see it now, but you know, in the moment, I was just trying to stay calm, trying to let him hurry the frick up and do whatever he has to do, because I'm not trying to start anything. I don't want to start anything. I don't need to start anything. I do not give a damn if the Lord's gonna judge me this way. Oh well, I have to just accept that. If the Lord's not gonna judge me, then call YAHAWAH, deliver me from the situation. All right, but basically, what happened was after he said, he lied to my face, and I got the registration. I showed him the registration. Registration was not expired. My license good and whatnot. He said, okay, well, yeah, it's everything is checking out. Everything is good, X, Y, and Z, which again, a contradiction that I did not point out, even though I may or may not want him to. All right, but I did not point out the contradiction, him saying, oh, everything's good, you're free to go, X, Y, and Z, even though he literally lied in my face, okay, and whatnot. So these are the stuff where, again, even though these devils lie and these devils get away with just harassing people, you still have to stay calm. And again, like I might not have seen the judgment that the Lord is put on him for that day, but I know that the Lord is going to put judgment, because that was some bullshit that he did to me. He had no reason to stop me. He stopped me anyway. He freaking lied to me and said my stuff was expired when it wasn't expired. All right, so YAHAWASHI is going to handle him. Anyway, continuing on. But yeah, that was an example of how he tried to initiate something. He tried to start a conflict. He tried to make me act out of character, so he had a reason to either shoot me or do something or whatever. All right, now continuing on. Sirach chapter 30 verse 21, give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. So basically, the main thing here is, don't be plaguing your mind with heaviness. Like, don't think like, oh my God, I feel so terrible. I feel I'm always suffering. I'm always having to endure this stuff. I'm always having to struggle with X, Y, and Z, blah blah blah, and whatnot. Like, this is so annoying. Like, don't put that in your don't have that in your mind. There are going to be some times when you need to think about some of these hard stuff or the stuff that stresses you out in order to attempt to problem solve it. But at the same time, let me get this. At the same time, let me get this. First Peter chapter 5 verse 7, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. And this is the thing where, well, this is the wisdom where when there gonna be times when, you know, something is too much for us to handle, and we just have to let YAHAWAH handle that for us. We don't need to always be occupying our mind with something that is just out of our realm of dealing with it. We don't need to deal with all this stuff. We just have to say, okay, you know what, this is something that is a big issue, but let YAHAWAH handle it instead. Now, next, back in Sirach chapter 30 verse 22, the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. And this is what prolongs our days, you know, happiness and joy, and you need to find joy in the right things. All right, also that's a brother that had done a lesson that said, if you brothers like toxic women, you know, you're wicked. And I do agree with that. You should not be trying to look for a toxic woman that goes around, you know, trying to cheat on you or making issues or always wanting to argue. Like, that should not be something that you find happiness or comfort or comfort in. All right, like that's I definitely agree. I think that's wicked. That's not something, no. Slaki. Anyway, continuing on, verse 23. Love thine own soul and comfort thine heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. Okay, so basically, yeah, don't be trying to make your mind think, oh yeah, I need to be sad, I need to do this, or I want to always be looking over my shoulder, X, Y, and Z. Like, no, you don't have to worry about that type of stuff. Especially if you are in the right, if you're trying to follow YAHAWAH the best of your ability, you know, the Lord is going to take care of you. The Lord's going to make it so that you're good. Verse 24, envy and wrath shorteneth the life, and carefulness bringeth age before the time. All right, so yes, this is another thing. Okay, envy and wrath shorten the life. Constantly trying to be angry. All right, that fucks up your thing. You know, when you scream a lot, you know, that messes with your throat. Okay, there's more to it. You know, just always being angry. I think there was this thing that there's a science behind it where it said smiling takes less muscles, whereas frowning takes more muscles in your face. All right, so continuing on. But yes, like that's the thing. This is the applicable knowledge where you shouldn't be trying to look towards sadness. Okay, again, another example of applicable wisdom. Slaki, not knowledge. Applicable wisdom. All right. Next, Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. Slaki, verse 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And this is another thing. It also perfectly ties in to the previous precept. Okay, where again, if you hear about, oh, there's gonna be a war, we're gonna have to go into war. We're gonna have to go sign up for the draft and X, Y, and Z and whatnot, or there's gonna be a draft. You know, you might be stressed out about that because you don't want to go in and fight. You don't want to go in and die for a cause that you don't believe in. All right, so all that stuff, like, that's a part of it. But at the same time, us being followers of YAHAWAH, we're not supposed to be afraid of that. We're not supposed to feel troubled. We're not supposed to feel like, oh my God, this is so terrible, like, I don't want this to happen, X, Y, and Z, blah blah. Well, that's the thing. We're not supposed to feel trouble. We're not supposed to feel threatened by it. We're supposed to be what's the word? We're supposed to be calm because we have to have faith that YAHAWAH is going to exempt us from any and all of these types of issues. All right. So yeah, continuing on, Sirach chapter 12, verse 3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. And that's another thing where you don't want to be around someone that's just a wicked demon. All right, so this is other wisdom, where you have people in this society that says, oh yeah, I know that this person is always trying to pick fights. I know this person is not the smartest or whatever, or he's always reckless and X, Y, and Z, but you know, this is my friend and I'm gonna stick by him. I'm gonna do whatever. Well, no, you can't. That's not the case. You don't do that. You don't stick by your friend like that. You stay away. You stay away from people who want to start issues. You stay away from people that are problematic. All right. You stay away from people who are trying to, you know, put themselves in danger, and by extension and by association, you don't want someone that's going to say, oh, I started a fight with 20 dudes, okay, and then just you two, or you have to fight. Now it's not just 1 on 20, it's 2 on 20, because you have to get your ass beat because another dude is another friend, a quote unquote friend, is over here picking fights with people for no reason at all. All right, so now you're gonna suffer just for being associated with him. All right, so that's not someone who you associate with. You don't associate with people like that because you don't want to put your life in danger for freaking something so minuscule and something that was easily avoided. All right. So, continuing on, Sirach chapter 4 verse 27, Sirach chapter 4 verse 27, make not thyself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. And you know, this is the thing where you can't be just saying, you can't say, okay, well, I'm going to let this person lead me. I'm going to follow after whoever, DJT, simply because, oh, he's the only leader here. Well, no, okay, you can't be following after wicked men. You can't follow after wicked or foolish men, okay? You have to actually be aware of who you're deciding to follow. All right, you can't just follow anyone. All right. Continuing. Well, yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, this was some examples of actual practical knowledge. I pray this lesson actually showed you, you know, and this is not all of it, of course, but you know, there's definitely more you could go into. But I pray that this lesson showed you that, you know, there is some practical knowledge in the scriptures that you can actually apply into your daily lives. All right, so with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, by Hashem, YAHAWASHI, by Hashem, Rakwak Wadash, double honor to the elders, apostles, great, Milson, Abad, Bal, and Shalom.